Hi besties. So I just I went to trivia last night and I'm having a hard time. I've been having a hard time. So okay, we got there and there's like one guy from our team that's usually there. He's at our table, so we sat down. He's like, so the rules for trivia, if you don't, the one that I do, I talked about it in a couple other videos, but like there's like one round or 5 rounds. Round 1 is like pretty easy questions. Round 2 is a little harder. Round 3 is a little harder, or it's like the hardest. And then round 4 is like a sound round, so they play like audio clips from like TV, movies, stuff, songs, like name this artist, name this song, whatever, what movie is this from, all that kind of stuff, like sports clips. And then the last round, round 5, is like a category, and whatever team won 3rd place the week before gets to pick the category for the next week. Like the first 2 winners get like gift cards or something. I've never won. The first time I went, we did like tie for 3rd place, I think, so we got to help pick the category for the next week's round 5. But I didn't show up for the next week, so it didn't matter. I don't even count it. So yeah, we got there and they told us like, okay, round 5 is Lord of the Rings, and I was like, oh god, like I don't want to I don't want to deal with that. So if you don't know, if like this is your first time watching my channel or something, I've talked a lot about a girl that I used to work with that I had feelings for, that like I felt like it was love at first sight like when I first saw her, and then she like didn't have feelings for me, and that was so sad. And I didn't know, like it was hard for me to accept that like things could work that way, that I could feel like so strongly about her just like the first time I saw her. Like I didn't know her, I didn't even know her name, and I just felt like so strongly towards her, and then she just like didn't know who I was, you know what I mean? I was like, how could that how is that possible? So I like, yeah, anyway, we eventually became friends. Like I think I realized like I have feelings for her and this isn't gonna like go away, and so like I need to like try to move on. And there's like a guy at another job that like was kind of flirting with me, so like we started dating, and this girl had a boyfriend, and then like I actually moved in with her boyfriend because I was like, I want to see her outside of work, and she never like has time, so like at least if I hang out with her, if I live with her boyfriend, I'll see her outside of work at least, you know. And then they like only hung out once a week, and it was like a whole thing, like, oh, he never spends time with me and stuff. So like I still like barely got to see her, even like moving in with this like man that I hated, just for that one reason. I actually had other reasons, we don't need to get into that. Anyway, so when she was dating this guy, like my roommate, she told me that like she watched like Lord of the Rings were her favorite books growing up, and she loved the movies, and so she made her boyfriend, my roommate, watch the movies with her. And then she would also like, they weren't just sitting there watching quietly, she would interject with like facts about like, oh, what happened in the books, or like behind the scenes stuff. And then so they broke up, and I was still like living with her boyfriend, so like she would text me a lot about like, oh, is he like seeing other girls and stuff, basically. Like I was like, that's the only reason she's talking to me, but at least she's talking to me. And then like my boyfriend broke up with me shortly after like she broke up with her boyfriend. Well, okay, I just said he broke up with her. He did break up with her, and then they like were apart for a while, and then they got back together. So then she broke up with him, and then my boyfriend broke up with me like 3 days later, and we started spending a lot of time together and like becoming like closer. And then I was like, okay, so maybe like I had feelings for her, and then I was like supposed to like try to move on and like be with this guy from my other job, and then like both of us ended our relationships at the same time. I'm like, maybe this is like where like how it's all gonna happen. Obviously that's not that's not how it happened, but like one of the first things that we did when we were hanging out, just like the 2 of us, was watch Lord of the Rings. And so like as soon as they're like, yeah, and obviously we're not like close anymore, we're not friends, we haven't spoken in years, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, like I know that she would know all of these answers, and like it's also just like triggering like all this, like, because I don't know we only watched the first two movies, and it was kind of like we watched the second one first because like she forgot that she had the DVDs, and like so we went over to watch the Lord of the Rings, and she's like, well, they only have the second one on like Netflix or whatever. They had like the second and third one in the Hobbit movies, I think, but they didn't have the first one. And so she's like, I'm just gonna tell you what happened. And I was like, okay, great, because I don't really care about like watching movies. I just want to like talk to her, you know, like that's what I'm here for. Like I don't care about Lord of the Rings or the movies, but like I was totally down to just sit there and like watch them with her and let her tell me all the like fun facts about like what they changed from the books and all the behind the scenes stuff. And like, yeah, there was a scene where like somebody kicks a bucket and she's like, oh, actually like the actor who did that broke his toe and stuff. And like there's a scene with like a bunch of guys riding in on horses and they're like circling like the main cast. And then she told me like, oh, those are actually all women. They had like a all women's like cavalry team or whatever, and they hired them and then like put them in drag, so they're all wearing like fake beards, but like they had women playing all these men and stuff. Just like fun facts about the movie. I was like, great. But like that was probably 2020. So my boyfriend broke up with me 2019, like the end, so it was like maybe the end of 2019, maybe into 2020, but like then the pandemic started. So yeah, like let's say end of 2019. So it's been like 5 years. 2025. So almost 6. Okay. Time. But yeah, so I was like, I don't remember that much about the two movies that we did, because then so we watched the second movie, and then like the next time I went over there, I think we went to watch the third one, and then I was like, yo, I'm surprised you didn't just like play the DVD or something. She's like, I forgot I had the DVD, and like so she went and found the DVD, and then we watched the first one. So and then I think I watched the second one just because I was like, I missed her and I was like at home. I was like, I just want to like, yeah, I just want to feel closer to her. So I was like watching the Lord of the Rings movies, and like I was on Etsy and just searched Lord of the Rings, and just like I bought her a couple of things and her brother a present too. And I think I bought myself something. I had like plans. I was like, I'm gonna give them both like these candles or something, and then like they shipped at different times, and I was like, I wanted to give her like one thing and then give her brother something else, but then the shipping changed, and so I ended up keeping what I was gonna give him and giving him what I was, but like yeah, anyway, it wasn't really for him anyway. It was just kind of like to throw off the scent of like, oh my god, I'm in love with your sister, and like buy her gifts because I just like think about her all the time. And like just buying one for him too is like, okay, this is just because we're all friends and coworkers, we're just chilling. Anyway, good stuff. Not that he was great. Loved hanging out with him too, but I wasn't like in love with him, and I wouldn't like just buy gifts for him if I wasn't buying his sister gift. And he would like, he did say that, he was like, wow, you actually got me something too, like other like, because other people I guess like just get her gifts, which I've done before. Yeah, she wore a lot of like that deep like burgundy kind of red, and then I saw a headband at Target that it just like reminded me of her, and so I got it for her for Christmas. I was like, we're not even friends yet, but I was like, oh, I just saw this, and like you wear a lot of this color, and so I just snuck like, yeah, I just gave it to her really quick. But I didn't get her brother anything, and I was like, is that like a dig at me like a couple years ago when I anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I was just like really sad because like we didn't do very well on we didn't get the answers, and then one of the questions was specifically like which actor broke his toe when he kicked a bucket, and I was just like, oh my god, like I know that she would know this, and like I started wishing like I wish she was here, you know what I mean? And like that was the second time I remember going on a backpacking trip with my dad and his friend, and like this was like the height of like my feelings for her probably. Like we had watched the movies and I'd started reading the books because I was like that just gone, that pathetic, that helpless. But yeah, so I started reading the books, and like, so we were backpacking, it's like up in the mountains and there's a bunch of trees around, and I started like, it's like, oh my god, I bet she would love this, like it looks just like Lord of the Rings, like I wish she was here. And like I think I had a sex dream about her while I was like in the tent with my dad, and I woke up like from a dream where we were, I think we were kissing, and then like Ariana Grande showed up and was just like, hey, and was like just hanging out, and then we just kept like kissing. Like she didn't join us, and it was weird. Anyway, but yeah, but there was no cell service because we're like in the middle of the mountains, so I couldn't talk to her for a couple days, and then like when I got back, she was like, oh my god, I missed you so much, and I'm like, ah, because like, yeah, this whole like up there reading the book that like was her favorite, and like, I don't know, I just felt like all these overwhelming feelings for her, and then like, yeah, she's like, I missed you, and I was like, you never have to miss me again. I'll never leave your side. No, I'm just kidding. But I had to, because it wasn't even that like she didn't like me back, because like I kind of knew that the whole time, or like I was aware that that was a possibility, and I was like hopeful. I was like, maybe she's just like still in the, like, not in the closet. I think in the closet implies that like, you know, you're gay, but like you're hiding it from other people. But like I think there's a lot of people who just like don't know that they're gay, or like maybe have thought, like wondered, but like don't really accept it. That was me for a long time, because the first time I suspected I might be gay was in 11th grade. I was like, am I a lesbian? Like watching an episode of Glee. I was like, am I gay? And then I just like didn't deal with, I was like, I'm just gonna figure that out later, I guess. Like I don't know what to do about it, because I was like, what would I guess I should like find out if I am, and like how would I do that? I guess like by kissing a girl. But I was like, I don't think any girls I know would like want to kiss me. Like I don't know, like I just felt kind of stuck. I was like, I guess I'll wait and see see what happens. And then yeah, I didn't date like in high school, I didn't date in college, and then this was like the first job that I got after like graduating and moving back in with my parents. And so like, yeah, then we didn't even meet. I saw her the first day, but like I was training with a new, there was me and another girl were both there for like our orientation. So like, and then we were there with like the manager in the office, and then she walked in. I was like, oh my god, there she is. Like I always compare it to the scene from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. I think Ned starts to like Mose finally, like when he realizes it. There's an episode where like at the beginning of the episode, he sees Mose and she's like backlit, and like he hears like a choir of angels singing, and it's like, ah, and he's like, whoa, what's going on? And then it's like, oh, Gordy with the light over here, he just has a big light for some reason, and then they're right next to the choir room, so there's like, oh, the choir is singing. Oh, he's like, oh, okay, that was nothing. And then like at the end of the episode it happens again. He's like, where's Gordy? And like Gordy's somewhere else there's no light anywhere, and then he's like, is choir practice in there? And he like looks in the door and the room's empty. It's like, oh my gosh. So like, yeah, like she walked in and it just felt like there was it felt like so bright. But like now that I've like in retrospect, I know that like in the summer, like I started in September, and in the summer they would keep the lights in the manager's office off because it just got so hot in there, and like there was an AC, and like with all the computers and the machines, and it was like such a small, it's like really like only one person, maybe two people in there at a time, and then like we were in there like standing, like that's like two people with chairs, we were in there standing, like three of us, and then the girl walked in, so she probably was letting in a lot of light and like making it brighter just by opening the door. But like to me I was like, oh my god, there she is, you know, and I really wanted to touch her. I never felt that. Like she was wearing these like leggings that looked like they were like kind of blue and like blackish, like waved together, I guess. And I just like, I felt this urge to like reach out and touch like her thighs and her hips, and obviously I didn't know her. And she talked to the manager for a little bit, and she like didn't even like, she probably just like looked, like glanced like, oh, these are new people, and like didn't like acknowledge us or anything. And then like it was a while before we worked together again, and there's another girl who like kind of looked like her, like she also had dark hair, and like I saw that girl walking out of the kitchen once coming towards like the host stand, and I was like, oh my god, is it her, because I hadn't seen her. Like that was like the end of my orientation, and then she was coming in for her shift, and then so like I left like right after that, like right after I saw her for the first time. And then like, yeah, we didn't really work together for a long time. So yeah, I was just like why did I feel that? And then I also like this, I guess I should frame it differently. I was gonna say this relationship reminds me of Good Luck Babe by Chappell Roan, but this was like way before that song even came out. But Good Luck Babe by Chappell Roan reminds me of like this person. And then so like, oh, okay. I was watching, I don't like watch interviews necessarily that often, but like Chappell Roan was like really big and like a lot of her videos were just popping up on my algorithm, and so I was like, let's see. So like I did watch some, and there was an interview where she was talking about Good Luck Babe, and like the interviewer asks her like about the girl that she wrote it about, and like they ask, are you still friends with her? And she's like, no. Like and it was so sad. I was like, okay, I can relate. And like it kind of felt like, you know, at least I'm not alone. At least like Chappell Roan is also like experiencing the same thing, like having feelings for like her best friend who doesn't reciprocate those feelings, and then like they're not friends anymore. And I was like, okay, I'm not the only one like going through that. Chappell Roan's dealing with it too. And then that was like that was one interview, and then I watched another one that came out later, and she was saying like somebody asked her the same question, and she said yes, like after a year and a half of like taking space, they did end up like reconnecting, and they have like a beautiful friendship now, and she's like so grateful and blah blah blah. And I was like, how dare, like I felt betrayed. I was like, how could you just leave me here, you know, like all by myself? But yeah, I just like, I don't see, like part of me is like thinking because of the like Lord of the Rings, I'm like, God, I wish she was here. Like, should I, you know, like it's been a long time, like maybe we could like reconnect and be friends, like Chappell Roan. But I'm just like, I don't know, because I started saying like the reason we stopped being friends wasn't even because like she didn't have feelings for me, because like okay, that's where I was going with all that. Like I was like, I kind of knew that, because like even just from like the first interaction, I was like staring at her, like I couldn't take my eyes off her, and she probably like glanced at me like for a second and then like went back to talking to the manager and like didn't do anything else. So like yeah, and then like as a host, I would go like bus her tables. I would try to bus her tables a lot, and like try to just like as an excuse to like talk to her and stuff, and like she wouldn't, like I don't know, I was like whatever. So yeah, I kind of knew the whole time, and I was okay with it, and I was like happy. I think there's like a Taylor Swift lyric. I have her folklore book right behind me. It is like, is it August? Let me just look really quick. But it's like, I was happy, like wanting was enough. For me, it was enough. That's not August. Wanting was enough. For me, it was enough. Oh, it is. To live for the hope of it all. Cancel plans just in case you call and say, meet me behind them all. So much for summer love and saying us, 'cause you weren't mine to lose. Okay, yeah, I definitely think about her when I listen to that song too. And like, I've covered it on my other channel if you want to check it out. I covered it on my birthday because I was born in August. Yeah, I used to I told this story before, but like I used to take my roommate's dog on a walk. Like I'd smoke a little bit of weed and listen to folklore and just like fantasize about like this girl. Like we'd walk around the little neighborhood and I'd fantasize about her like realizing that she had feelings for me too, and like confessing to me, and I'd be like, oh my god, and then I would tell her that I had feelings. She'd be like, oh my god, this is like all so great. And then obviously that never happened, but like that got me through got me through the like really tough part of the pandemic, like the beginning. I mean, I think the tough part is different for everyone. Anyway, yeah, so the trivia thing, I was like trying to fall asleep last night and I was just like so bummed out. Like, I don't know, I just feel so, not, I guess it's kind of like, I'm a little more over it now, but like last night I was like, yeah, just like really sad. And just like I kept thinking about like this one time, well there were two times. There was one time I think we were at her house watching like, I don't know, YouTube videos or whatever, and she like rested her head on my shoulder. I was like, oh my my god. And there's another time we were at my house and like she had a Disney Plus subscription and like we were watching Hamilton, and like her brother was there too, but like I think I was in the middle and like they were on, and she like held my hand, like we were all three, I was holding both of their hands, but I was like, oh my god, she's holding my hand. But yeah, I just kept thinking about like those like 2 times in particular. Like we were like so physically close, and then it's just like, oh my gosh. And then I started thinking about like, well, would I like Chaperone and her friend like made up, could I like, do I see a possibility where like, I still haven't finished talking about why we're not even friends. I can't do it. But like, it's not that she didn't have feelings for me, like I said, it's more that like she just kind of like, it felt like she was taking me for granted. Like I would try to make plans with her because I was like in love with her and wanted to spend time with her. I would spend every waking moment with her. But yeah, like she would flake on plans a lot. Like we'd make plans and then she'd cancel them that day, or like I remember one time I texted her like trying to make plans for the future, and then so like we're like, let's go, we're gonna go to a restaurant, and then the day, either the day of or the day before or whatever, I was like confirming, I was like, hey, do you still want to go out to eat? And then she's like, oh, I totally forgot, I made plans with my other friend. And then so like that just like started to happen all the time, where like then I was like, maybe that was too much time, like if I plan things too far in advance she's gonna forget, and so maybe I just need to like not go so far out in the future, just do plans for like tomorrow or like whatever. So then I'd try that, and then she'd be like, she'd still like have plans a lot already, and then that to me was kind of like, okay, so she's like making plans somehow and she's not inviting me to any, like she would say things like, I want to like take you to a picnic on the beach, but like it would never actually happen. She'd be like I want to do all these things, but like I want to, like we were planning on throwing like a Halloween party, and she's like, I want to go to the Halloween store with you when it opens, because they were like building one in our, not building one obviously, like Spirit Halloween, they're just like taking over like one of the buildings in our parking lot, and she's like, when that's open I want to like go with you. And then like that's kind of like when the fighting was like starting, and so like that never happened. And then she like went with another girl that we worked with, and it just felt like she was making all these promises, never following through. Not necessarily promises, but just like, what's that called, like future faking, I guess, like saying that you want to do something and then like not following through on it, and just like flaking on me, making plans with other people but not really like being able to make plans with me. And then there was like some of these people were like people I'd never met, like for, I don't know where she knew them from, but like her friends who like were not from work, who like I didn't know, so like, okay, whatever. And then there was one time that like I was trying to make plans, I think, and then she said no because she had plans with someone else that we worked with, and they were just gonna drink wine. And I was like, well, like why couldn't I be invited to that? Like, but I don't know. And then just like it didn't feel like I was appreciated at all at the end of the day. I was just like, she just like doesn't even care about me, I think. Like, and then there's another girl that we worked with who like they started becoming closer, and I was having these game nights at my house, like just with my coworkers, because I was like, we're already spending a bunch of time together like at work, even though there's a pandemic, like we're already being forced to like interact, and so we might as well like be able to have fun, you know, as opposed to like my housemates who were throwing parties with like people that they didn't work with and didn't have to see every day anyway. And it was just like, oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna die anyway, so I might as well have fun. And so we were having like these game nights. We'd play like Jackbox or whatever on the Switch, and they were fun. And then there was one month, I think it was like a monthly thing, I don't remember, there was one time that she was like, oh, I think we should invite this other girl, because she was saying she doesn't have very many friends and stuff. And I'd hung out with her, the other girl, one other time, without the girl that I liked, and there was a fourth. How many girls have I there were a lot of girls that we worked with. There was like a younger girl who worked with us. It was so we went to like a Halloween party, like me, the younger girl, and the girl I liked was becoming friends with. I wish I could just like use names, it'd be so much easier, but I don't want to like, it's for anonymity purposes anyway, but just for lack of confusion. So the three of us were like together at like a Halloween party for one of the bartenders at the restaurant we worked at, and then the girl had just gotten broken up with, which is like a whole nother story. Her boyfriend came into the restaurant where she worked, sat down at her table, ordered food, used her employee discount, and then like broke up with her, and just like he was horrible to her after that. Like she came in to work with like bruises on her neck because he had like strangled her or something, and he like there was a whole thing where like he sent her money on Venmo or something and then went and like told Venmo that he didn't send it, and then like got her accounts frozen and stuff. Like it was just all kinds of like horrible stuff happening. And yeah, she was just like really going through it, and just but like she was yeah, like we were trying to have like a fun like Halloween party, and then she was just like kind of trying to make everyone just like get really drunk because she wanted to get really drunk, I think. And it was just kind of like, and then after we left, like we were driving her home, not we, like the youngest of us was the designated driver, obviously, because she's the only one who can't drink anyway. But yeah, so we were like driving her home, and then she started bringing up like all these like secrets that she knew about like other people that we worked with, and she's like, oh, I know something about what's his name, and then we'd be like, what is it? And then she wouldn't tell us, and we're like, okay, great. I mean, I'm not saying like she should have told us, like, you know, if somebody tells her something like in confidence, like if it were me, I wouldn't want her going around telling other people. But the thing is, like, we didn't ask, she just brought it up and then was like, I'm not gonna tell you. And it's like, shut the fuck, like, we don't care, just stop talking. And eventually the girl driving was like, you're annoying me so much. She just started going through a roundabout and just going in circles and circles. It was pretty late, no one else was around. But yeah, she's like, I'm not stopping this until you like stop. I'm not gonna keep driving, I'm not leaving this roundabout, you know what I mean? She's like, you need to stop or we're staying in this roundabout. So yeah, I was just like, so the girl that I liked was like, we should invite this girl to the game night. And then me and the other girl who had like hung out with her before were like, I didn't really like spending time with her outside of work, but like, yeah, I guess yeah, we were like begrudgingly agreed. We're like, yeah, I guess if you want her to come. And then she's like, well, I don't, the girl that I liked was like, I don't want her to feel like she's not welcome. Like, I don't want her to be like an, I guess she can come, you know? So like, yeah, I was like, you know what, you're right, I'm sorry. Like, it's just that like we'd hung out with her before and it was not the best, but like we should give her another chance. And she's like, I don't want you to be giving her a chance, I want her to be like welcomed and whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So I was like trying to be nice, and like it was kind of annoying because I was like, she obviously likes this girl more than me. And like, she's like, that was what was bothering me really, was like, I think she would rather talk to this other girl than me. And like, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, we should invite her. Like, do you want to tell her, or do you want me to? And then she's like, oh, I already told her. And like, she wasn't really responding to me before I had asked that. And I was like, okay, so she's like talking to this, she's inviting her to my house and like texting her back and forth, obviously, and like not responding to me. And I was just like, oh my god. And then it came to the like night of the game night, and the girl who was like new and didn't have that many friends apparently called the girl that I liked and was like crying and saying that she had nobody, which is like fair. She moved from like across the country and like didn't really have anyone around besides her boyfriend, and then her boyfriend broke up with her and like blah blah blah. And like I invited her to my Thanksgiving, like my house for Thanksgiving, because she was telling me like, oh yeah, I'm probably just gonna end up at my like celebrating with my ex-boyfriend's family. And I'm like, you don't have to do that. But then I was like, I mean, my family is white and she was a black woman, so I was like, I don't know if it'll be better, because I have heard my grandparents say, not just grandparents, like, yeah, I basically don't talk to any of my like extended family, or yeah, the only person I talk to is my dad and like one uncle basically, but like everybody is like racist and like just horrible. So I was like, I don't know if it'll be like good, but like at least it's another option. Anyway, so it's like she feels like she has nobody, even though like, I mean, I invited her to a terrible Thanksgiving. But yeah, she didn't come to my Thanksgiving, surprisingly, and like, so yeah, it came time for the game night. She called the girl that I liked and was like, I have nobody. And then so those two, and the girl's brother too, were, so she decided that like both of them and the girl that called her crying were gonna hang out, instead of like coming to my house for game night. And then like when those two decided they weren't gonna go, then like everybody else basically like decided they weren't gonna come. And then so I ended up being alone. And then I was like, I can't even like call her crying because she's with this other girl. Anyway, so I just like, I was like, I can't, I literally like cannot be friends with her. Like it's ruining my life. Like I cannot just like go on with my day without just being like completely devastated by like, so yeah, I was like, she doesn't want to spend time with me. Like I'm just gonna accept that and like stop trying, and like, you know what, fine. Like I can't do this anymore. And yeah, there was also like a thing where she told me something that like she didn't tell me not to tell anybody else, and then I accidentally, well, not accidentally, because I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to not tell anybody else, but I told somebody else, and then they told their brother, and then her brother told her, and then it was the whole thing. And so she was mad at me for that, even though like I said, I may have accidentally started a rumor when I, like, because I apologized for it once I realized like, oh, I guess I wasn't supposed to tell her. I was like, oh, sorry, but I kind of like was trying to play it off, and like I like to joke around. So I was like trying to make it a little joke, which is maybe like where I went wrong. Maybe if I just said a serious apology, it would have been better. But I was like, instead of just saying like, sorry, I accidentally told one person what you told me and I didn't know that you didn't want me to not tell anybody, I just like kind of phrased it in a way that I thought was funny. I was like, I accidentally started a rumor, you know, like exaggerating, kind of like, I think I was trying to like play it off like it wasn't a big deal, even though it's like not my thing to like not be a big deal, but like, so I was trying to, you know, like sort of like kind of exaggerating the badness of it, so like then it's like not, you know. Anyway, so yeah, then she was like, oh my gosh, I wish you hadn't told anybody, now it's gonna be like a whole thing and I'm gonna have to tell the managers and blah blah blah. And I was like, what? And so yeah, she was like mad at me for that. And then I got a text from her brother that like he told me she was quitting. Come here, little kitty cat. He's like, her last day is on Saturday, so if you have anything you want to apologize for before then, you should do it. And I was like, I was still mad because I was like, I think I deserve an apology, but like at the end of the day, I was like, you know what, this is probably my last chance. This is like, we never hang out. We hung out for like a little bit, for a short while, and then it just like stopped. Where was I going with that? I was like, we never spend time together. Like yeah, so like once, like if she quits, like it's not like we're gonna start hanging out more after, like once we're not seeing each other at work anymore. So like I'm like, this is my last chance basically. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna put that aside, that like I feel like I deserve an apology for like her flaking on me all the time and like canceling plans, like making me feel like really like just useless, like worthless. Put that aside, and I was like, you know what, it is kind of like messed up that like I have had these secret feelings for her and like have just been pretending that I'm okay with being friends, which like, yeah, I was like, I mean, I think I was okay with it, but I also like wanted more, you know what I mean? Like, so it's unfair to like put that kind of pressure on her. And so like I can see how like maybe if I had just said something sooner, like just when we first, not like first met, but like when we first started like getting closer and been like, hey, I actually think I might have feelings for you, maybe things could have been different. So I was like, you know what, maybe I should apologize and say like, sorry that I didn't tell you I had feelings for you sooner. So I did that, and I sent her, it was like kind of a long text, And I kind of expected her to take more time to reply. I was like, I don't expect her, I even said that, I was like, I don't expect a reply right away or anything. And then there was one like pretty quick, and it made me feel like she didn't read what I said, because I was like, I know that you're not gay, but like I've had feelings for you for a while. I didn't say like since the first time we met. I just like, I kind of I took that backpacking trip, and I was like, after not seeing you for like a couple days, like not talking to you, like I realized like how much I missed you and like how strong my feelings were for you, which is true. I just didn't say like the feelings started like the first time I saw you, which is like maybe I should have just been really honest and like, I've had feelings for you from the first time I saw you, and that's, here it is, just laying it all out. But I was like, yeah, still trying to play it down a little bit because I didn't want to like freak her out, I guess, I don't know. And then yeah, she's like, oh sorry, I'm not gay. And I was like, no, I know, like that's not what I wasn't asking you, like, are you gay? Do you like, I was saying like, I'm sorry that I like didn't tell you that I had feelings for you, even though like I know that you don't feel the same way, and like I hope that you don't feel like pressured, like I hope you know that your friendship was enough for me or whatever. Because like there'd be a lot of times when she would tell me that like a guy that she was friends with told her that he had feelings for her, and it just kind of seemed like, I don't know, everyone wanted more from her, and I didn't want to be one of those people adding to that. And so I was like, yeah, so that's why I apologized. And she's like, sorry, I'm not gay. And I was like, you didn't even like read it, did you? So that kind of bothered me. And then she told me that like she felt that I was disappointed in her, and I was like, I never said that. Like I don't know why. Like I think the only time I remember being like disappointed in her when she was dating her was when she was dating her ex-boyfriend, and she was telling me like, oh, I think I'm gonna break up with him. It was like, I think the end of November, like around Thanksgiving, we were talking, and she was like, I think I need to break up with Jared. That was his real name. Anyway, no, you don't know anyone else's name. I think I need to break up with my boyfriend. And then so I was like talking her through it. I was like, yeah, I think you're right. I was like, I think this is gonna be a thank you next moment. And she's like, oh my god, my brother would love that you said that. I was like, oh my, because her brother's gay. So I was like, okay, great. We'll break up with him. I don't care what your brother thinks. And then yeah, she was like, like every time we argue, I feel like I'm in the wrong. And I was like, okay, I just read about this on Tumblr. Like, have you heard of gaslighting? She's like, that's what my brother said too. And so like we were talking, and I'm like, she's gonna break up with him. She's gonna break up with him. And then the next time I saw her, I came in, it was like December. Like she came in with a Christmas bag, and I saw her like walking over. I was like, that better be for me, for like helping her break up with her shit boyfriend, or like ain't shit boyfriend. Anyway. And she was like, this is for my boyfriend. He doesn't have any Christmas decorations in his apartment, so I got him some Christmas. It was like, that was the only time I think I've ever like and then like when she got back together with her boyfriend after like I don't know if it was months, maybe let's say a month, like 1 month of me telling her like, you deserve better, he's a terrible person, and like he never cared about you. Like I probably shouldn't have said that, but I was like, I think I asked her like, not to be like too forward or anything, but like, has he ever made you come? Like I asked her that, and then she said no, and like he expected her to like give him blowjobs and all this stuff, and I was like, see, like even if he does move out, she kept asking me like, has he brought any other girls over and stuff. I'm like, even if he's like with another girl now, do you think he's treating her any better than he treated you? Like, this is not the man for you. Like, you can do so much better. Like, I know for a fact that there are people out there who are willing to treat you better, because I would treat you better than the way he treats you. And like there were just other things like that, they would only spend time together like once a week, and she was like, she wanted to spend more time together with him, and like he wouldn't like drive to go see her. Like he made her drive over to our place every time she wanted to hang out. And like even one time she was like, oh, my car has like the check engine light came on in my car, can you come pick me up or come over? And he said no. And like she was complaining to me about that, and I was like, oh my god, like I'll pick you up with my check engine light on. I don't even care, like my check engine light was on for a long time, but I knew it was like, I went to the guy and they're like, it's the catalytic converter, but like I had 2 in there, so they're like, it's not really a big deal, it's gonna be a thing when you try to go get a smog check, but other than that, like you're fine. So like my check engine light was on. One guy told me, he's like, just put a sticker over it. I was like, okay, thanks for your help. But yeah, So I was like, I'll drive to you with my check engine light on, girl. I don't even care. But yeah, I was like, so I was technically disappointed in her those 2 times. But like, I didn't say that to her. And then she's like, I feel like you're disappointed in me. And I'm like, I never said that. So like, okay. And then, yeah, I went back later and checked the text. I think shortly after I said I accidentally started a rumor, I think she said she was disappointed in me as a response to that. And so like when I was going through after, this was like way after when I started like learning astrology, and I was like curious about like, I wonder like what that text was that I sent, like what was the chart for the text that I sent that I accidentally started a rumor, because that kind of like ruined, that was like the final straw, I think. It wasn't like the beginning of the end, it was like the final straw of that relationship. And so I'm just like, I wonder what was happening there. And then I saw I feel like you're disappointed in me near the end, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. That must have been rough for her to feel like that. Okay, scroll. I'm so disappointed in you. And I was like, okay, what the fuck? And I was like, I don't even care about the chart anymore. Like, this is purely an astrological, like, fact-finding, whatever, mission. And I was like, I don't even care anymore. Like, she said she's disappointed in me first, and I didn't even remember that when she said she felt like I was disappointed in her, and I was just, I was so mad. Anyway. But yeah, the other thing was, like, the thing that made me finally be like, okay, I have to, like, stop thinking about this, because, like, it's not, okay, so, like I said, we were gonna, like, her favorite holiday was Halloween. Her favorite Halloween was holiday, and so, like, we were talking since, like, at least in the summer, like, maybe June, we started planning, like, a Halloween party at my house, and yeah, we're like sending pictures of like Michael's Halloween decorations back and forth, like, oh my god, this would be so cute, and just like fun ideas for that. And then like she went to the Halloween store with the other girl that we worked with, who were like, they started becoming close, and yeah, I like watched them. They worked in the morning and then I came in at like 3, and then they would both leave. And I saw them like leave together and like go to the Halloween store, and they were wearing these like best friend bracelets that they made out of like the cardboard from the stickers that we would use. So I was like, I literally cried. I was crying at work, just like watching them leave, like, oh my gosh, she's gone. But like, and so with this like trivia thing and like thinking about like the chaperone, good luck babe and all that, like her and her ex crush were able to make up, and I'm just like, maybe I'm being too stubborn, maybe I like need to stop. Like what if she did come back and apologize? Oh, there was one more thing I was gonna say. Like, there was a point maybe like a month or so after like we stopped talking. I was still talking about Halloween. Okay, so we're talking about Halloween, and so then we started fighting. We stopped. Obviously the Halloween party's not happening, and then on the actual day of Halloween, like, we hadn't talked for like a month. There's another Taylor Swift lyric that was, we hadn't seen each other for a month when you said you needed space. There's literally like a time, like, she texted me like, I just need time, sorry, I just like, after I told her a secret, she told me that she needed time, and then so I didn't like talk to her for a month, and then like after a month, I was like talking to her, trying to talk to her again, and she said she needed space. And I was like, we haven't seen each other for a month. What, like, how much space do you need? And then like I heard that song come on the next day. I was like, ah! I don't know if it's the next day, but just, it's better for the story. Anyway, so I texted her like, happy Halloween, like, I know it's your favorite holiday, just like thinking of you. I probably didn't say all that, I just was like, happy Halloween. And then she's like, oh, thanks. But she didn't say like, thanks, you too, I hope you're doing well or whatever. It was just like, oh, thanks, haha. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I guess I don't matter. You probably hope I have a terrible day. Anyway, but yeah, I was just like, you can't even like return the sentiment, you know? And then I think oh yeah, I said like I hope you have a great day or whatever. And then I saw her brother shared her Instagram story post, which I thought was weird because I was like, I didn't see her Instagram story post. I only see her brother sharing it, so I was like, okay. So like obviously she blocked me or like hid me from her story or something. Like I think she blocked me. Like I don't even know what I did. Yeah, so she blocked me, and then I saw her brother share her story, and I realized that she blocked me. And then I was like, kind of like, and the caption was like, had the best day, or had the greatest day with the besties or something. Like I think she used like a word that I said in my text or something, like I hope you have the greatest day. She's like, had the greatest day with the besties. And I was like, oh my god, like that's it. Like that was when I was like, okay, fuck this. Like I can't do this anymore. Yeah, because okay. And then I went to get a tattoo. This was my second tattoo. Is Artemis, because I took a Greek myth class and they're talking about Artemis, and like she's the goddess of the hunt. So she like has like these young women followers that like are just like in the forest together. It just sounded like a good gay time. And so like when I decided to get a tattoo, I was like, because it's kind of like about being gay, because I dated a couple men, because I was like thinking maybe like it would help me like move on from this girl at least, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was like, I have all this love and nowhere to give it. So I like dated that one guy, and then like he broke up with me, and then the girl and I started getting closer, and then there was like another guy who asked me out, and then like I would talk to her about him all the time. Like I had a date with this guy, and then I was like, do you want to go to the mall and like help me pick out an outfit and stuff? So like yeah, and then I'd like talk to her about everything that happened. So like it was kind of like, yeah, I was dating a guy, but like it was kind of to get closer to her still somehow, like I don't know. Yeah, and so I'm just thinking like, okay, there's one more thing that happened like a month after we stopped talking. I think probably after the Halloween, a month after Halloween, let's say. She texted my roommate, and they weren't close either. Like the girl that I liked had told me that this is actually what she said she needed space from. She said, I need space from your friendship with my roommate. And so that's when I stopped. I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna talk to her about the roommate then. And then it's kind of hard because I live with her, so like it was, yeah. So I pulled back, just kind of essentially altogether. And then we hadn't seen each other for a month, and she said she needs space. So yeah, she eventually did text my roommate, and she's like, hey, I feel like I was a bad friend to you and Lauren. But like she didn't text me anything. And like she also, like my roommate, when I got back from my backpacking trip, like I'd let her use my car, and so I was texting her on the trip back. I was like, hey, do you still have my car? Like my dad and I are gonna go pick up his van or whatever, because he like had it in the shop while we were gone anyway. So and she responded like, I got raped. And I was like, oh, that's, I mean, like not what I asked, but like, okay, okay, we'll deal with this now. So I started like responding to that. I started telling, yeah, our other coworkers, because like I'd been sexually assaulted in college, and like I guess other times too. So like, yeah, I kind of knew a little bit of what she was going through, so I was kind of taking it upon myself to be like the like her representative, I guess, to like the go-between between like her and like all the other people, like telling them what happened, because like she wanted people to know, but she didn't want to have to keep like saying it. So I was like texting people like, hey, this is like the situation. And then the girl that I liked said that she would be like a character witness for the girl who got raped, if she needed her for like a trial or whatever. And then so when she texted her like the way later, she's like, hey, I'm sorry, I feel like I've been a bad friend to you and Lauren, and also if you need a character witness for your trial, I can do it. And it's like, you already offered that. That's not really any like new information. And then like, yeah, it didn't feel like I don't know. And then so my roommate texted me a screenshot of that. She's like, hey, did you hear from what's her name, because she texted me. And I was like, no. And so yeah, it's kind of like, well, if she can't even bother telling me that she feels like she was a bad friend, then like I don't really feel like I have to acknowledge it or respond to it in any way, so I didn't. And then there was also this issue, oh yeah, whatever. So my roommate had another, like one of the girl I liked was gonna go drink wine with, and I was like, I like doing that, why can't I be invited? Anyway, so yeah, the girl, I'm gonna call her the bartender was like mad at my roommate, and I was like everybody was like kind of texting me about it because I lived with her, and like they didn't want to like deal with her because like she'd just been raped, and like they're like, I don't know, like we're mad at her for like doing this kind of shitty thing to the bartender, but like we don't want to like yell at her. And so like I was getting a lot of like the comments, like, yeah, the go-between still, and then so I was like telling my roommate that she should apologize for what she did to the bartender. And so I sat there while she typed out like the worst apology text I've ever, like, she typed it out and then she's like, okay, I have an apology, and I like read it and I was like, are you kidding? Like, this is not good. But like I guess I didn't know how to like constructively say that, just be like, you suck at this. So I read it, I was kind of like, this isn't great, but like at least it's like an acknowledgement, it's an explanation of what she did, or like why she did what she did, and then like apologized. And then the girl never responded, and she was like, that was like, I don't know, a thing that was like, why did she even respond? Like, and then yeah, so the fact that like anyway, that kind of didn't make that much sense, I think, but yeah, everybody was just like really hypocritical, and like, okay, the thing I'm thinking about now, the thing I was upset about last night is like, okay, so Chapel Roan can do it, she can be friends with the girl that she had feelings for again. I'm like, could I do it? Do I even want to do it? Like, if she reached out and like apologized, would I, like, what would I do? Would I be willing to hear what she had to say? Would I just be like, I don't even bother, I'm blocking you, I don't even care, because she blocked me first. And then there was like a new girl who started at work before she'd quit, and like she was like training the new girl, and like I heard them talking, and she was like, oh my god, can I add you on Instagram? And then the girl that I liked was like, oh my god, yeah. And like that was like right after she blocked me, so I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. But yeah, it was just like horrible working environment after that. And then she quit, so like it was fine, I didn't have to deal with her. Her brother was still there for a little, but like then he quit too, and then I got him a like going away gift, and then but he quit before I could give it to him, I think, or like it didn't ship in time, so then I like offered to bring it over to him, and I was just gonna, like, it was COVID, I was just gonna leave it on I wasn't gonna knock or anything, I was just gonna leave it on their door and then like leave. He's like, no, don't do that. And I was like, okay, cool. So he's like, no, I'll come by and pick it up. And I was like, whatever, dude. Sure. But yeah, I'm like, if she reached out, which I don't think she would, that's the thing. If she reached out, could I accept that? Would I be willing to like try to be friends again? And then I'm like, this doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter that I'm like wondering this, because like it's not gonna happen. Like, she does not care about me the way that I cared about her, and she's not gonna reach out and apologize. She's just not. So like there's no point in even thinking about it. And I just, like, even if she did, it'd probably just be like a one time, like, hey, I'm sorry, and then like we'd probably just like never talk again. It wouldn't start like a new like friendship where we started like hanging out all the time, and like it just wouldn't be like anything. Like, it would just be like one apology and just be like, okay, yeah, I guess it's fine, and then we just like both go our separate ways and like never talk again. And so I'm just like, like, what's the point? And she couldn't even text me that she was a bad friend. She texted my roommate. So it's like, why am I even thinking about it? Why did I just spend 45, 54? I always get, like, if 4 and 5 are next to each other, I'll say the wrong one. If they're by themselves, I can get it. But like 45, 54, I spent 54 minutes almost 55 talking about this. Oh, and then the other thing I was gonna say was like my Artemis tattoo, when I went in to get it, the tattoo artist is a lesbian, so I was like telling her all about my like lesbian sadness, I guess, my lesbian angst. Yeah, I was like, I had feelings for this girl, and I told her the whole thing, and like that was after the astrology exploration where I discovered the disappointment paradox. I don't know what to call it. Disappointment, hypocrisy. But yeah, so like I told her all that, and then when I said like she told me she was disappointed in me. She's like, "What are you, my mom?" Like, so true. Yeah, she was like, "I hate this bitch." Like she just like I was talking, just like, "I hate this bitch." It's like, oh my god, me too. So now like for the last couple of years, I got this in 2022, so like 3 years, almost, because I got it on my birthday. So yeah, almost 3 years. Every time I start thinking like maybe we could be friends again, I just go back to like, I hate this bitch, and I'm like, I mean, I have nothing else to go on, right? Like that's just like, I don't think that that's what's supposed to happen. I don't think that's in the cards for me. And then yeah, it just reminds me of like the time I got dumped on Valentine's Day, and like the guy, like I'm sure he said he was seeing someone else like for 2 weeks, and then told me on Valentine's Day, and he said we made things official the night before. So like they were dating for like, or seeing each other for 2 weeks, started dating February 13th. He told me February 14th via text, hey, I met someone else, like whatever. I feel like whatever. And then like, yeah, I just like basically felt really alone after that, and I was like, I have like nobody. Once again, I'm no one. And like it felt like he was the only, like I felt like he felt really bad about what he did, and he was like the only person who like even wanted, he's like, I wish we, like, I want to still be friends, you know what I mean? And like, so it's like, it feels like he's the only person who like wants to be friends with me, besides like my roommate, who like was the one who set me up with him. So I was like mad at her because like, you told me he was perfect for me, and then you dumped me on Valentine's Day. And then she also wasn't paying her fair share of the rent either, so like she had like 2 strikes against her. He had like the one, I guess. So it's like, I can't be around my roommate because like she's just pissing me off, like financially, like making me pay for way more of my fair share of like our apartment, and like not even telling me until like the last minute that like it's gonna be happening, so I can't like plan in advance or anything. No talk of payback, nothing. I was like, I can't. So like this was like the one person who like I felt like even cared about me as like a person. Like I feel like he didn't tell me for 2 weeks because he like didn't want to hurt my feelings, and like so I was like, okay. And like he's like, I told him that I like forgave him or whatever, and like he's like, oh, like I wish, like I think I just said like, I forgive you, because like what, I don't remember. Yeah, I was like, I forgive you. And then he's like, I'm so glad that we can be friends again. I was like, I didn't say that, but like I also didn't say like that I didn't text him that back. I was just like, okay, like I guess. And so like it's like he seems like the only person who wants to be my friend, so like I was trying to like make that work, and then it was still like, I'm texting first every time. I'm texting some other girl's boyfriend like first all the time, and like not getting responses. I'm just like, this is not worth it. Like, so yeah. Then there was another thing, like oh gosh. Okay, sorry, I don't know if that probably is still recording. I got my 20% battery notification. But anyway, yeah, so like for like maybe a couple months, I felt like he was the only person who like wanted to be my friend, and I was trying like so hard to like maintain this relationship. And then just like, then I got laid off, and he knew that I was getting laid off before I did for like 2 days. So like after 2 weeks of not telling me like, hey, I'm seeing someone else, and waiting till Valentine's Day of all days to tell me, and then knowing for 2 days that I feel like I just said 2 days. I said Valentine's Day, but he knew for 2 weeks that like he wasn't like, we weren't gonna be in a, because the thing that he was like, we've been hanging out a lot, and that was like, that's what got me, because I was like, he's never once invited me to hang out. Like, no one invites me to hang out. It's so sad. I'm so lonely. But like, yeah, I was like, I invited him to hang out. Like the one time, I guess we did twice. The first time we had sex. The second time, like, I thought something might happen again, and then like he didn't try to kiss me or anything, and I was like, okay. And then he left, and then he didn't tell me he was going back to like visit his mom for Christmas for like the rest of, like, he was gone until after, this was like December 21st that we moved in, and then I invited him over that day, and then he went up, like, and he was gone till like January, like well after New Year's Day. Like, we were back at work, we were supposed to both work together like the first day back, and then like I showed up and he wasn't there, and I was like, okay, whatever. Like, he didn't even tell me, and again, like, so when he knew that I was getting laid off and didn't tell me for 2 days, I was like, that's like too long. Like, not that it's his job to tell me, like, obviously, like, but I, like, it's not my fault that you have 2 strikes because you dumped me on Valentine's Day already, and this happens to be your 2nd strike. So I was like, I was really upset about that, but I was also like aware, like, this isn't really his job. Like, he was like our like supervisor or whatever, and then we had like our boss, so it was like our boss was the one who was supposed to tell us, not him, and he probably like would have gotten in trouble if he told me. Like, again, probably didn't want to like upset me or something, but like at the end of the day, like, I'm just like, if you know information that's gonna like negatively impact my life and you don't tell me, like, what, like, I don't feel like you care about me. Like, you don't care about, like, because I could have known for even just like 2 more days that I was about to get laid off and like lose like my income, and like I spent money that I probably wouldn't have spent just in those 2 days that I wouldn't have spent if I knew that I was about to like get laid off. So I'm like just mad in general about it. And then it's like, what if he wanted, because like he did say like he's sorry and he wants to be friends, but like at the end of the day it's like your actions don't show it, you know what I mean? Like, you're still like betraying me in these ways. And so like I ended up having to like stop talking to him too, and like I don't even know if he knows that like I'm mad. Because like, yeah, it was just me reaching out mostly every time, like with like a little stupid joke, like inside joke or whatever. And like sometimes, like, yeah, I was just like, this is not worth it, like, what is going on? And then I start to feel like, am I wrong? Am I the wrong one for like just cutting people off all the time? I see that a lot. It's like, you can just cut people off all the time because you're afraid of like confrontation or whatever. But like, I tried so hard. I tried the hardest I've ever tried with anything to like keep this girl in my life and to like stay friends with her, and like nothing I did like amounted to anything. Like, I tried talking to her, I tried talking to other people, and like it just, nothing worked. Nothing I tried worked. And then, yeah, the dumped on Valentine's situation, I'm still like, I don't feel like, I feel like I'm betraying myself by like being friends with these people. You know what I mean? So I'm like, but I do, like, I'm so alone. And like, I do keep cutting people off, but it's like, because like most of our coworkers like thought my roommate was lying about being raped and I was sexually assaulted, and I was like, if you're not there for her during this, like, you wouldn't have been there for me. Like, I don't feel safe around you. Like, I don't feel like comfortable telling you anything about my life, now that I know like this is how you view, like, they assumed that she was lying, because the guy was like kind of, I don't know, she never told me his name. I don't know if I would recognize it. She said there was a billboard when we were like, we worked on a TV show at Fox Studios, and she said like on the way to work she would see a billboard with like his face on it and stuff. He was like a music producer, and so yeah, everyone's like, oh, she's lying, and it's like, no, like, I came back from that trip, the backpacking trip, and saw her like, just, she was sleeping on my bed because she was still sharing a room with her boyfriend at the time. They were broken up, but they were still sharing a room anyway. Yeah, my dad just pulled up, so that's probably all I'm gonna say. It's just like, I had a really tough gay night last night, getting through like the Lord of the Rings questions without just like breaking down and be like, oh, I miss this girl. But like at the end of the day, what matters is I don't think that she would make my life any better. I think I made the right decision. I think I'm doing alright. And even if she, yeah, I should stop wondering what would happen if she came back and apologized, because she's not going to. Neither is the guy jumping on Valentine's Day, neither is anybody else. So I just gotta give myself closure. That's the secret to life. Okay. I feel like that's very like Sagittarius midheaven. Like Sagittarius is stereotyped as like the sign that like cuts people off a lot. So I'm like, that's me. Got my midheaven up there, and it's like exactly square, not exactly, but like to the degree square, both at 5 degrees. Virgo and Sagittarius, my sun. So okay, yeah, that's it. Leave a comment so I don't feel so alone in the world. Just kidding, I don't care. Free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo. I do care about those things, and all oppressed beings everywhere. Free everybody. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.